Hello everyone, remember you can pause me as we go through this. So first thing I want you to do is read this FRQ. Alright, now what I'm going to do is we're going to take the first part, the independent variable, and we're going to look at three potential answers, right? The one in green, orange, and purple. You are going to write down which one do you think earns the point, which ones do you think do not earn the point. Okay, welcome back. The independent variable is watching violent films. It does not earn the point. Okay? So first of all, the independent variable is something we manipulate. Remember, because this is an experiment and you were told in the prompt it's an experiment, you know there's going to be a control group and an experimental group. And we also know that the experimental group, will watch violent film sequences, which that didn't write, by the way. Should have, right? Some will watch violent film sequences and some will not. The control group will not be exposed. So the independent variable, basically think of it like yin and yang. It's one thing, but it contains basically presence and absence makes up the independent variable. So think yin and yang, one circle comprising both yin and yang, right? So yin presence, yang absence in this analogy. Okay, orange does not. As I told you before, if they give you the name of the researcher or the type of research, you need to include that in your response because your response must be connected to the prompt. They're not talking about independent variables in general. Number 3 gets the point. Notice we have in Dr. Miller's experiment is the presence or absence of violent films. Okay, you don't have to always use presence or absence. You can actually write something like this, but you have to include this, okay? And if the name is not given, then you have to write a description of the research. Notice the other thing I did not do. Please pay careful attention to this. When you get a question like this, notice it is asking you to identify. It is not just a bullet point with a term. You do not need to provide a definition of independent variables. Do not do that. You don't have enough time. Just simply answer the question using in the context of the prompt. Okay, now we're going to talk about the dependent variable. Remember that the dependent variable is the outcome variable. It's a variable we measure. So in your head, you got to think about, we got two variables. We got violent film sequences, right? The presence or absence of them. And we got sympathetic nervous system activity. So which one is going to be the thing we measure, right? Which one is the outcome? Which is the one that we're concerned about? We're really concerned that we're looking for the connection between variable X on variable Y. So which one is variable X? Which one is variable Y? This is going to be the independent, and that's going to be the dependent. All right, here are two responses, kind of in reddish and in green. So tell me which one gets the point, which one does not. All right, this one does not. All right, it is technically correct. It is technically correct, but it doesn't get it, right? Because it is not contextualizing enough. I don't want in this experiment. I want the name of the person. This will guarantee that you always get the point. No reader can take the point away from you if you use this level of detail. You will always be guaranteed the point. That gets you the point. That's the way I want you to do it on tests.